So, Jacob, guys that are still on the board that you think are trade-up candidates, and I know we talked about Johnny Newton, defensive tackle from Illinois, Cooper DeJean, cornerback from Iowa. What do you like about those guys? How do you think they fit?
It's crazy I got Johnny Newton graded as a top 10 player in this entire class, and it's really crazy how sometimes I think players get overthought. Like, you overthink these situations. Like, I hear a lot of people say it was a down year for Johnny Newton, who had twice as many sacks this year as he did the year before. So I'm not really sure how the math ain't math in there in terms of being a down year for him. I just think he's a fantastic player on the interior, and he probably goes pretty quickly, kind of like we talked about with Keon Coleman, but he's just understands how to attack. He's explosive off the line of scrimmage. He's got violent hands. I think he's more of a good run block stuffer than people give him credit for, but that's not really, the biggest part of his game. But he matches the kind of athletic, explosive athletes that Jim Schwartz really covets in the middle there. Guys are kind of twitchy. He's got some bend in there, just does some rare physical has those rare physical gifts to really get after the passer and push the pocket vertically in the sense. And that's what Jim Schwartz absolutely loves. So if Newton you're going to have to trade up to get him. I would be just the biggest heist of the century if he fell to 54, which it just doesn't seem that's going to happen. But if he gets into the 40s and you're willing to hop up and get him, it's like you're set. You're set. You've got defensive tackles for the next 2-3 years. You've got Dalvin Tomlinson. Maybe Siaki Ika loses his roster spot in this situation, but adding Johnny Newton as a pass rusher with everything else they have on that defensive line would just be unfair. Would be absolutely unfair. No wonder the AFC North is drafting a bunch of offensive linemen because of what they got cooking up north. It would be unfair. Now, Cooper DeJean, to me, is a chess piece. Jim Schwartz would love it, because then you have Grant Delpit and Cooper DeJean that could play high, single high safety, free safety, play in the box, play in the slot. Cooper DeJean can play outside corner. I think he's a corner at the next level. Some people want to pigeonhole him into being a safety, but I think he can do it all. And he's a fantastic returner, not just in situations where he returns kicks or punts, but when he gets the ball in his hands in an interception, if the ball is in Cooper DeJean's hands, interception, kick return, punt return, he finds the end zone. Like, his ball, you would think he's a wide receiver. As soon as he catches it, he's a wide receiver. He's moving in the open field. He's a great athlete. He was an all-state basketball player in college. If one of those guys get around pick 40 or something like that, I'm trading multiple assets to go up and get one of those guys, because they're both top 15 talents in this class.
Yeah, and DeJean was injured end of last year, so that might be one of the reasons that he's fallen a little bit as well.